All right, President Trump today touting the big, beautiful refunds hitting Americans' bank accounts ahead of tax day at the White House, with a little help from a DoorDash grandma who saved big from no tax on tips.
The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
It definitely was.
Well,
Yeah, I saved over $11,000 by not having to claim.
IRS reports show refunds are up 11% this year, with the average check topping $3,400. Buckaroos, here's what IRS CEO
Frank, you want me to say his last name?
No, you got me on Buckaroos. Here's what IRS CEO Frank Bisignano had to say.
What the president did here with this tax reform and what Congress did and the Republican Congress driving it really made an economic change for Americans.
But just as the tax winds start landing, so the higher gas prices arrive. This is because of the conflict in Iran. Oil back up near $100 a barrel today, and possibly muddying Republicans' economic messaging heading into the midterms.
Here to weigh in is House Budget Committee Chairman, Congressman Jodey Arrington. Congressman, great to have you with us today.
Be with you.
Lots of news in Iran. We just went through with Aaron Cohn. You're looking at midterms, okay? I know you want to tell the economic story, but the Iran story is an economic story, and it's big, and it's not over yet. How do you manage that?
Well, I think the American people understand inherently that the first and most important job of the federal government is to keep us safe. And we weren't safe with the deluge of criminals, crime, and drugs pouring over our border. And we certainly weren't safe projecting weakness and creating instability and empowering our adversaries for the 4 years that Joe Biden was our commander-in-chief. And by the way, we've had appeasement and empty rhetoric for now almost 50 years, and there is an imminent threat of a nuclear Iran, and that's unacceptable. And even though it's not in the best interest of the president, his political interests certainly, he's willing to be the commander-in-chief that we need right now. And how can you not respect that and appreciate that he's going to take it head on? I don't think it's going to last long, but he's going to stay and finish the job. Meanwhile, it's about the economics, personal. It's about keeping more money in your pocket. It's about the cost of living that was outrageous during the 4 years of, it's the worst in almost a half a century. The inflation tax was the worst and most regressive tax on the working families in this country. In the big beautiful bill, we cut those taxes. We reined in wasteful spending to offset the tax cuts. We opened up domestic energy production, and now we're seeing investment up, wages up, refund checks up, and less withholding, so lower taxes down the road. We need energy to come back. It will. We've seen it bounce around. It will come back, and we'll be, I think we'll be hitting on all cylinders going into November, not to mention the fact that I think trade, as those deals settle, and we have the head-to-head trade that we've needed for decades, but didn't have a commander-in-chief or a negotiator-in-chief with the will to hit reset on the world trade order.
I think the S&P closed above where it was February 27th. So the broad market in the United States is actually back to where it was, if not slightly higher than the Iran conflict started, which is kind of astonishing. But so I want to move on to lawmakers are returning to Capitol Hill with the Department of Homeland Security still shut down. Senate Republicans are eyeing a reconciliation package to lock in multi-year funding for both ICE and Customs and Border Protection to fund them without Democrat votes. So reconciliation, I'm going to quote Larry Kudlow. Why just a skinny reconciliation bill? He said this to Tommy Tuberville today, as senator. Slim bill won't help. Give me something with some sizzle that the Republicans can sell. Give me fund this war, DHS, open it up, the Save America Act. Let's pile it all in.
I love it.
Tell me what you see.
Well, I see a few paths that we could take. I think the first and most important thing is get Homeland Security funded. Stop this nonsense. Take the keys away from the kids, the Democrats. who are constantly obstructing, have no interest in governing, and would rather imperil our country by turning off basically these critical homeland security operations in conflict, as long as it helped their prospects in November. Okay, let's move on from that. We've got to be the adults. We can use reconciliation to do it. We can either do it in part or in whole, either the whole Homeland Security Agency, or we can just do ICE and CBP. And we can do it for multiple years, take the leverage away from them in future fights. Let's learn from this disastrous shutdown, startup shutdown, and all their reneging, okay? So that's first, but I think there's a lot more that you can do in reconciliation. Obviously, the first would be to support the operations ongoing in Iran and future war readiness. And then there's a boatload of waste that we could get after as an offset to these costs.
And the last time they did reconciliation, it was big and beautiful. So one would think maybe do it big and beautiful again. Before you go, your colleague, Congressman Eric Swalwell, says he plans to resign from Congress. Is it the right thing to do? What do you make of it?
Look, only he knows if it's the right thing to do. If there are no merits to these accusations, he should fight them, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know whether these are substantiated. Again, that would have to play out in the courts or the ethics process in Congress. I was willing to agree with him. Let the process play out. I don't like Eric Swalwell. I don't like his policies. I don't like his stance of his brand to just constantly beat up the president with very little substance to bring to the governance of our great country. But, you know, he's an American citizen. He deserved due process. But he pulled the plug on that. That's his decision. I guess what it means for me as the budget chairman is we now go from a 1-vote margin potentially to a 2-vote margin when we're trying to get the next big, beautiful reconciliation bill to motivate our base and to do the things they sent us to Washington and gave us unified Republican leadership to effectuate. So all's well that ends well. Swalwell.
He's also evidence of his own party propping him up and carrying water for him until it was convenient for them to throw him under a freight train.
Right.
But that is a multi-part series we could do on the Democrats.
It's a Netflix series.
Yes, exactly.
Not tonight.
Congressman, great to see you.
Thank you.